Incredible video of a water spout near Kenosha, Wisconsin. We like to thank Jay Coey for being out there, Rob, being our eye literally on the ground to capture that. We saw it on radar and we're like, oh, that thing might produce a water spout, and it did.
Yeah, pretty amazing. I mean, the contrast here, amazing because of the water, and you have the sun backlighting this thing. So, wow. Kenosha, you dodged the bullet on that being right over the open waters of southern Lake Michigan. A lot of folks saw this, and at one point, this was a double water spout, believe it or not. All right, to the other big story of the day, Longmont, Colorado. Boulder and surrounding areas, even down into Denver, we've had historic flooding. Our thanks to Ted Smith, who shared that with 9 News, KUSA, again, one of our partners with Weather Nation TV on their digital channel, 9.2. All right, the severe weather is out there tonight. We're following the activity. Rain mostly in Colorado, but this historic flooding is not over yet. We have got a wet night coming up, and then tomorrow, the wet weather finally begins to subside. Activity coming up in the northeast, very stormy. Also watching the tropics for news of our latest depression, which could in the next 24 hours become Ingrid. We'll have more on that in just a moment. First, we'll go to Colorado, and here's Kristen with the latest.
I know this picture is amazing. Not only are these cars completely inundated with water, but there is a person swimming through the floodwater to get to their parked car. That is crazy. So this is the kind of rain that we've had. This is the type of flooding that has resulted. Ruidoso, New Mexico, the tributaries, the streams and creeks, I mean, they're flooding beyond their banks, and they too are dealing with all this rain and flooding as well. So it's the constant, steady rain that's just streaming up from the south. The moisture content in the air east of the Front Range is incredible. There is just so much moisture in the atmosphere for this rain to work with, and boy, it's just raining buckets when it does. Boulder, an impressive 7 inches of rain. That is with the last 24 hours. That is just wild stuff. This is a 10 to maybe 20-year event. Very rare to see this big rain in Colorado this time of the year. It's a classic setup, actually, almost like a mid-winter snowstorm setup, but this time it's warm enough for rain. And tonight, the computer models are hinting at the potential for Colorado to see an additional 1 to 2 inches. A lot of this might be near the Palmer Divide and along the Front Range near Estes Park, one of those hard-hit areas today. And Rob, my hat goes off to you because you nailed it on the head. You were talking about the weather factors that went into this flooding. It has been the amount of water in the air, 150% more than what we typically have. It's that classic upslope, that easterly moist air flowing up the Front Range. And we've had a front that's stalling right over the Central Rockies, all leading to that potential of this historic flooding. So more of it comes tonight. Again, additional 1 to 2 inches. So it's a very scary situation. If you've ever experienced flash flooding, it's actually very terrifying. I've experienced it before, and you just got to be on your guard, be alert. Weather radios are good to have, and just heed the warnings when they are issued and if they are issued for your area. The good news is, come tomorrow afternoon, Rob, the rain waters start to end.
Yeah, and it's going to take a while, of course. All those creeks and rivers and all the little areas running down to the mountains, they are going to be at a fast pace for a while. And because they were now in the fall, the amount of evaporation much lower. Take it to Bucknell University campus, wet, students out, shorts, t-shirts, and then all of a sudden, in came the rain. Not so many students out in shorts and t-shirts anymore. The wet weather has since passed Bucknell. The rains are headed towards Long Island. Looks like a pretty wet night in Boston, Portland, all the way down into Ocean City, but the severe weather appears to be diminishing just a little bit. The front still has a lot of attitude left with it as it moves off to the east. So once we get behind the front, which is Friday afternoon, here comes the caboose, and the caboose is carrying a load of much cooler temperatures, ones that, enough so I should say, that might support lows dipping into the upper 30s across Pennsylvania by Saturday morning, or Saturday night, Sunday morning, and possibly some low 40s up across New York. Highs tomorrow, already the cool-off starts with 50s. That's right, 50s for highs in Erie, and then there are your lows on Saturday night. 39 in Concord, 48 in Trenton, and 41 in Scranton. Hello, Ingrid. Soon to be depression number 10, expected to strengthen here in the next 12 hours. Do a little loop-de-loo in the Bay of Campeche, and then move its way towards Mexico. Unless this thing can escape the upper-level winds and venture into the Gulf, odds are pretty good it ventures into Mexico and just heavy rain for extreme South Texas. We've seen stranger things, but right now the path is towards Mexico with heavy rains in far southern Texas. We leave you with your national high temperatures for Friday.